My child, listen closely. Because the air around you carries whispers you cannot yet hear. Before this night ends, a truth will unfold that will shake hearts and open eyes. Something is moving, quiet, deliberate, unseen, and it's coming faster than you think. This isn't another story meant to pass your time. This is a message meant to awaken your spirit. Somewhere not far from where you are, a person's destiny is being rewritten this very moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Before dawn breaks, their life will never be the same again. They don't know it yet. The world around them feels calm, almost too calm. The rhythm of life beats softly. The ticking clock, the hum of the morning breeze, the gentle warmth spilling through the window. They believe today will be like any other. They laugh, they move, they plan small things. Maybe they're sipping their coffee, glancing at their phone, or humming to an old song they've loved since childhood. But they don't realize what's coming. The pages of their story are about to turn in a way they never expected, and I want you to see it, because what happens next is no accident. This isn't random chance, not a twist of cruel fate. It's something deeper, something that carries meaning you won't fully understand until the end. There's a stillness before every storm, a silence before revelation. Right now, that silence hangs heavy over one life that matters more than you know. Someone dear, someone good, someone who carries light even when they don't see it themselves. Maybe you've met them. Maybe you've crossed paths without realizing. Or maybe, just maybe, it's you. This soul moves through their morning routine, unaware that the hourglass above them has already begun to empty. In just 3 hours, everything they believe to be certain will begin to fade. Not because of tragedy alone, but because of a choice. A secret decision made in the shadows, by hands they once trusted, by hearts that once smiled at them. But wait, before you judge the darkness, understand this: every act born in secret is seen by me. Every whisper of deceit, every thought of betrayal, it all echoes before my throne. And though they think I do not see, I see it all. Now picture this scene, a small, quiet house at the end of a lonely street. The grass outside grows wild, but the flowers by the steps bloom faithfully, like hope refusing to die. Inside, the air smells faintly of toast and morning sunlight. The person sits at a kitchen table, half-eaten breakfast before them, a pen in hand, scribbling notes of dreams and reminders. The radio hums a familiar tune, a song that once held memories of love and peace. They smile softly. They think of small plans, maybe a call they need to make, a bill to pay, or a promise to fulfill. They trust the world around them. They believe the faces they see are genuine. They feel safe, but what they cannot see is what has already begun. A plan has been set, a decision made long before this morning's light touched their face. Something they believed was love has turned into deceit. The cup they were handed, the meal they were offered, the smile that greeted them, it was all part of something hidden, something unholy, and the world will call it tragedy. They'll say, it was sudden, it was unexpected, but I call it by its true name, betrayal, because the hands that claim to care are the same hands that have woven a quiet storm. Not strangers, not enemies, but the ones closest, their own. They share the same table, the same roof, the same laughter, and yet in their hearts, envy and greed have found a home. But this is where my story begins, not theirs, because while they plan in the shadows, I move in the light. While they hide their motives, I prepare a revelation. What they intended for pain, I will turn into purpose. The person you see sitting there, unaware of what's coming, is not forsaken. Their heartbeat is still known to me. Every breath they take, I count. Every thought they whisper, I hear. Though the clock ticks toward betrayal, I am not distant. I am watching. I am waiting. I'm preparing to step in at the moment that seems too late, because that is when my power is made perfect. so stay close and listen. The hour is near, the story is shifting, and what you're about to witness is not the end, but the divine beginning of something no shadow can stop. You may think you know what evil looks like. Dark eyes, cold hearts, cruel words. But sometimes, my child, darkness hides behind warm smiles. Sometimes betrayal wears the face of love. Right now, as you listen, that person still sits in the soft morning light, unaware that everything familiar is about to turn unfamiliar. Their world feels peaceful, gentle even. They glance at the clock, hum along to the radio, maybe send a message to someone they trust. But what they cannot see is that every passing second pulls them closer to a moment that will test the very foundation of their faith. Because betrayal rarely announces itself. It doesn't knock on the door or raise its voice. It whispers. It pretends. It hides in the routine, in the small gestures that feel normal. And that is what's happening now. There's someone near them. A person who knows their habits, their kindness, their open heart. Someone who has shared their meals, their laughter, their memories. This person has been planning something quietly, carefully, all while pretending to care. A plan that began not with hatred, but with envy. With desire for something that was never theirs to take. It may be money, inheritance, control, or simply the ache of jealousy that's festered for years. Whatever it is, it has blinded them, and so they have chosen deception. The smile they give this morning is hollow. The "I love you" they speak carries no truth. Their words are smooth, but their heart is restless. I see it all. I see the trembling in their hands as they pour the drink. I see the flicker of guilt that flashes through their mind, but quickly dies under the weight of greed. I hear the silent prayer they whisper. Not to me, but to their own fear, hoping they won't be caught. And I also see the one who trusts them, innocent, kind, unaware. The one who has always believed in love's goodness. The one who never thought betrayal could wear such a familiar face. My child, understand this. Betrayal does not begin in one day. It grows quietly in the soil of resentment, watered by envy, fed by lies. It hides behind gestures of care until the mask finally cracks. And when it does, pain follows like a shadow. But even as this darkness unfolds, I am not absent. My silence does not mean I'm gone. My stillness does not mean I am blind. I watch the unseen movements, the choices made in secret, the thoughts that try to rewrite destiny. And I prepare my response. One that no human heart can predict. Now imagine this moment. The person sits back, takes a sip, sighs softly. Their heart beats steady, unaware that a storm has already entered their veins. A plan designed to end them has begun. The betrayer across the table forces a smile, pretending to care, pretending to listen. Inside they wait for signs, a falter, a weakness, a shift. The world outside continues, oblivious. Birds sing, children play, a car passes by. Everything looks normal, but heaven is watching, because I see beyond what eyes can see. I see the threads of deceit stretching from one heart to another. I see the choices being made, and I know where they lead. But listen carefully, because here lies the mystery. While they plot the ending, I'm already preparing the beginning. The betrayer believes they hold control, but control belongs to me. They think their secret is safe, but no secret can hide from light forever. And soon, very soon, the light will break through, my child. Maybe this story sounds distant, like it belongs to someone else. But pause for a moment. Think of your own journey. Have you not felt the sting of broken trust? Have you not watched someone you loved turn away with words that cut deep? Every tear you cried, I saw. Every time your heart whispered, "Why?" I listened. You see, this story is not just about one person. It's about every soul who has ever felt betrayed and wondered where I was. I was there, and I am here still. I turned betrayal into awakening. I take what was meant to destroy and transform it into purpose. That is what's about to happen. The hands that caused harm will tremble soon. The shadows that hid truth will scatter. The false peace they created will collapse under the weight of their own choices. And the one who was meant to fall, they will rise. Because I'm stepping in. My move has already begun, unseen but unstoppable. The countdown they set will not lead to death, but to revelation. The very plan designed to break them will become the moment I lift them higher. The betrayer believes they have won. But what they don't know is that I always write the final line. There comes a moment, my child, when the unseen hand of heaven begins to move. You may not hear the thunder or see the lightning, but the shift happens, silent, swift, unstoppable. And that is what's unfolding right now. The betrayer believes their plan is perfect. They've rehearsed their story, practiced their tears, and prepared their lies for when the world begins to ask questions. In their mind, it's already finished. The end written, the story closed, but I am not finished. I am the author who writes beyond the last page. As they sit there, confident in their deception, I begin to stir hearts in unexpected places. A neighbor feels a strange pull to check in, though they can't explain why. A friend far away suddenly feels the urge to call, their spirit restless without knowing the reason. Even the wind outside carries a stillness, a pause, as if creation itself is holding its breath for what's about to happen. Inside that small home, the person still sits quietly, unaware that the very breath they take is a battlefield between life and loss. They feel a wave of fatigue, a faint dizziness. The world around them blurs slightly. But in that same moment, I whisper into a heart nearby, "Go now." The neighbor, who had planned to stay home, suddenly grabs their keys and walks out the door. Their mind doesn't understand why, but their spirit does. I guide their steps down the familiar street, toward the house that now holds the weight of two destinies, one falling, one being lifted. The knock comes just in time, sharp, unexpected. The person looks up startled. They hesitate but rise and open the door. The neighbor smiles nervously. "I don't know why, but I felt I should check on you," they say. And that moment, that small act of obedience, cracks the darkness wide open. Because I sent them, I moved through that whisper, through that feeling, through that moment they almost ignored. That is how I work, quietly, perfectly through willing hearts. The betrayer's confidence begins to waver. They hadn't planned for this. They hadn't expected anyone to show up. They try to mask their unease, offering help, pretending concern. But their eyes flicker, their hands tremble, and the neighbor notices. A phone call is made. Help is summoned. The one meant to die is lifted into safety, their pulse weak but alive. And as the sirens draw near, my justice begins to unfold, because every secret has a season, and this one has reached its end. In the hours that follow, the truth starts to surface. Doctors examine, tests reveal what should not have been there. Words slip, lies begin to crumble. Those who thought their deception would remain buried now find it rising like smoke through cracks in their walls of confidence. You see, my child, truth always finds a way. You can't bury what was never yours to hide. Every hidden action echoes in eternity. And when the time comes, I bring it to light, not out of cruelty, but out of love. For truth must set free those who were bound by lies. The betrayers sit together now, pretending calm, but inside fear grows like a fire. They feel it, the weight of what they've done pressing down on their souls. They sense that I see them, that their secret meetings, their whispered plans, their false smiles are all laid bare before me. They whisper to each other, trying to hold on to control, but it's slipping. Because you cannot control what belongs to me, And while fear grips their hearts, peace begins to fill another. The one they tried to destroy begins to stir, breathing again, spirit awakening. I'm there in that room. The hum of machines, the light filtering through blinds, the warmth settling over their chest. They do not yet understand what happened, but they know this. They are not alone. They feel my presence, steady, protective, alive. I whisper to their soul, "You are still mine. What they meant for harm, I will turn for your good. And even now, I'm working, in ways unseen, through people they've never met, through events no one could predict. Because when I move, nothing can stop what I have declared. My child, let this truth sink deep into you. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No scheme whispered in darkness can overcome the light I place within you." The moment the betrayers thought they had control was the very moment they lost it, because their plan was built on deceit, and deceit always destroys itself. Heaven's justice may not roar, but it never fails. The ones who plotted in secret will face the mirror of their own choices, not to destroy them, but to awaken them. For even in judgment my mercy waits, and the one they sought to silence will speak again, stronger, wiser, covered in grace. So do not fear the dark, for light is rising. Do not mourn what was broken, for I am making it new. The story they tried to end has just begun, and I, the eternal author, am writing its next chapter. My child, every story that was meant to end in darkness can be rewritten in light. What humanity breaks, I can restore. What they destroy, I can make new. Watch now, as the ashes turn to glory. The hours have passed since the betrayal. The once quiet house now carries the echo of footsteps, voices, questions. The air that once held deceit now holds truth. The one who was meant to fall lies resting, alive, fragile yet unbroken. The light streaming through the window touches their face, and in that light my presence whispers, "You are still here, because I am not finished." Doctors speak in surprise. Neighbors stand in awe. Even those who once plotted now feel the weight of what they've done pressing on their souls. They begin to realize that the plan they crafted so carefully has unraveled by a force greater than their control. Because you cannot hide from the one who sees all things. Evidence begins to surface, a trace of something where it shouldn't be, a message saved unknowingly, a conversation remembered at just the right time. Threads once hidden start connecting, revealing the pattern of deceit. Justice begins its quiet march, but my child, this story isn't about punishment. It's about redemption. For even when truth exposes darkness, my mercy waits at the door. The one who betrayed is not beyond my reach. They will face their choices, yes, but they will also face my truth. For my justice does not exist to destroy. It exists to awaken, to remind even the darkest heart that grace still calls their name. And for the one who suffered, the heart that broke, the trust that shattered, the tears that fell, this is where healing begins. I gather every tear. I remember every cry whispered into the night, and I turn each one into something new, something holy. The one lying in that hospital bed begins to open their eyes. The world feels different, sharper, quieter, filled with meaning. They feel my peace hovering around them like a gentle wind. The pain is there, yes, but beneath it flows a strength they can't explain. A knowing that they were never truly alone. They whisper, "Why, God? Why did this happen?" And I answer softly, because what they meant for destruction, I meant for transformation. What they planned to end, I used to begin. My child, do you see? Every betrayal carries a lesson, every wound carries wisdom, and every ending hides a beginning. I never waste pain. I never allow darkness to win. The very things that tried to break you will become the reason you rise higher than before. The betrayers will face their truth. The deceived will find their purpose. And the witnesses, those who stood nearby unsure of what to believe, will see my power unfold before their eyes. Because when I move, no lie can stand. When I speak, no shadow can silence my voice. Now let me speak to you, you who have felt the sting of betrayal, the loneliness of being misunderstood, the ache of a heart that gave too much. I see you. I was there in the silence when no one came to comfort you. I stood beside you when they walked away, and I'm still here, rebuilding you piece by piece. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not defined by what they did to you. You are defined by what I am doing through you. Every setback has been preparing your comeback. Every disappointment has been shaping your destiny. You have cried enough tears for one lifetime. Now it is time to rise. Look ahead. Do you see it? A new path shining brighter than before. It's yours. The pain that once chained you will now become your strength. The betrayal that once silenced you will become your voice. You will walk with wisdom. You will love with discernment. And you will stand with faith that no storm can shake, because I am not done writing your story. The clock that once counted down to your end is now counting up to your new beginning. The same place where you were wounded will become the ground of your greatest testimony. And the same people who doubted you will witness what I do next. So hold your head high, child of light. Do not dwell on what was lost. Fix your eyes on what is coming. For I am about to surprise you with blessings greater than the pain that preceded them. This story of betrayal, awakening, and redemption is not just theirs. It's yours too. It's the echo of your own battles, your own tears, your own faith tested in silence. But now, as you listen, hear me clearly. The night is over. The dawn is breaking. And your story is being rewritten by my hand. What they meant for harm, I have turned into hope. What they planned in darkness, I have transformed into destiny. The page is turning, and the best chapter is still to come. Stay close to me, and you will see what I see, beauty rising from the broken. Because I am God, and I am not finished yet.